Hi everyone, how are you all doing? My name is Natalie. If this is the first time that you're watching my video, thank you for stopping by. I hope that if you enjoy what I do and share here on this channel, you can subscribe and share it with your friends. In this video, we are going to talk about the Scorpio full moon that is happening for us in 2024, April 23rd or 24th, depending where you are in the world. And we'll also talk a little bit about the rest of the astrology that is happening this week from 22nd to 28th of April 2024, because this week mainly we have two major things happening. The first one, which is the Scorpio full moon, and the next one, well, I'll let you know later. So let's focus on Scorpio full moon first. It is happening on April 24th, Hong Kong time, 7:48 a.m. or Eastern time. It will be April 23rd, 7:48 p.m. So just the time according to where you are in the world. This Scorpio full moon will be happening with the moon at 4 degrees in Scorpio and the sun at 4 degrees in Taurus. So anytime when we have a full moon in a water sign, I always say it's a water work full moon. It tends to be a little bit more tender, emotional, deep for us, because water energy talks about the depth of our emotions, the inner part of ourselves, right? And this one is intense, okay? So let's prepare and let yourself know that this week, allow yourself to feel. Allow and prepare and let that floodgate open and let it flow, okay? Because this is what the full moon is here to assist you with. So no matter what you're doing, what you're experiencing, moving through, just know that if you're feeling a little bit extra tender, a little extra, emotional and just, sensitive, it is okay, all right? And let's talk about this full moon's energy. Well, first of all, this is the first lunation that we are having after our rather intense eclipse season in Aries season, right? And we thought, we can finally take a breather. But no, the Scorpio full moon is quite intense, but in a good way, okay? And I feel like they all kind of assist each other in some way, shape, or form. So just hear me out. So recently, we just had our eclipse season. We just have both of the eclipses, in Aries and in Libra. And right when I'm recording this video on the 21st Hong Kong time in the morning or 20th nighttime, we had that great conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus in the sign of Taurus. I talked about that aspect in depth last week, so check that video out if you haven't yet, right? And I feel like all these energy for many of us is just like building up, right? And this full moon in Scorpio kind of just like illuminate and review everything that's been brewing or happening and just bring it up front and center for us to see, whether we want it or not, okay? But so I feel like the eclipse season, or maybe perhaps the conjunction, might have revealed something for you, right? In any area of your life, perhaps a situation, a relationship, right? Or it reveal a clearer path for you, right? And sometimes eclipse bring in sudden changes, fated events, beginnings and endings for some of us. And also, take a look and see what those houses are that the eclipse happened, that the conjunction happened, right? So maybe that is something that you are experiencing and moving through. And at the same time, it might trigger some old wounds or trauma or experiences that you had before, right? It brought up maybe perhaps some feelings, maybe some memory, wounds, and so on and so forth, right? But they all came up for a reason, right? They want us to pay attention. They want us to perhaps heal from it, to be able to move the energy, to change path, change direction. Perhaps it is for us to redo it, right? Or maybe reset, totally let it go and reset, change path. Maybe this is for us to heal another layer deeper. Or maybe this is bringing us some uncomfortable fears or truth for us to look at, because we need to transform it finally, right? So whatever that means for you, this full moon might be illuminating that for you. And this full moon is squaring Pluto in Aquarius, okay? So the sun and the moon, they are both squaring Pluto in Aquarius, forming a T-square, right? So it's a tense aspect, because we have this aspect earlier, the couple of days, Monday, Tuesday, right? Before this full moon, Sun was in an exact square with Pluto. And this square, you might be feeling it already during the week before, right? And it just get like more intense and maybe more vivid or more loud and front and center for you. Pluto is the planet of transformation, right? Pluto doesn't want to just scratch the surface and let things slide, or just let things, glide through the surface and let it go. No, Pluto wants to invite us to dive deep, to swan dive and deep under into the underworld, to excavate, to see what is really underneath everything, right? To explore the richness beneath those richness soil in Taurus, right? So we have this contrast where Taurus is that beautiful nature that we see, that fertile soil that we stepped on, that we walked on, the beautiful grasses, flowers, and everything that we see on the surface. Scorpio, Plutonic energy, is the roots that is deep down inside, right? I always think about the mushroom kingdom whenever I think about Taurus and Scorpio axes, right? Taurus is that yummy, fertile soil with all these beautiful, magical mushrooms. And Scorpio is that deep, dark, amazing, intricate mycelium network under that we cannot see, but it's just everywhere and it's growing and growing and is supporting what's underneath, what's above, right? So it's just very fascinating. Okay, I'm very exciting here. Anyway, but this is what comes to my vision when I look at this full moon and when I look at Taurus and Scorpio energy, okay? And this full moon in Scorpio is really that Plutonic energy asking us to look at both sides. Don't just look at those beautiful things in the surface. Admire what's underneath, because without what's underneath, without those roots, those mycelium network underneath growing and absorbing those nutrition, nothing will grow on the surface, right? So as above, so below. As within, so without. It's time to really look deep dark into ourselves, perhaps to face some truth. It might not be comfortable for some of us, but this full moon is asking us to do that. This full moon, in some way is combining, sort of like accumulating the energies from the eclipse season, from perhaps the conjunction, maybe allow to. And also, in the background, we also have Mercury retrograde, right? For us to reflect, maybe perhaps it tells you the path that you want to be on, the relationships that you desire in life, the working relationship, family dynamic, friendship, romantic partnership, the business, the career that you want to do, the kind of life that you truly want to live for yourself. And perhaps for some sudden events took place, whether this is a beginning an ending, a fated event, sudden changes or shift that allow you to see that. And it can trigger some internal fear, problems, emotion, blocks, thoughts that you're having, right? It might be bring up, and this full moon is asking us to look at them. Even though the stuff that we want to avoid, we don't want to see, we want to sweep it under the carpet. But here it is. The skeleton is out from the closet for us to look at, because in order to go where you want to go, in order to achieve the beautiful Taurus stuff that you want, the life, the everything that you want to, you need to also know how to get there by looking at, is there a block within you? Is there limiting belief patterns that's stopping you? Is there anything that you're holding back? Is there anything that no longer aligns, that serves you, that needs to be let go? Do you need to change? Do you need to take inspired action? Are you your own enemy and block that is blocking you from that? This Scorpio Platonic full moon is asking you to do that, right? To look at it, to embrace the polarity, and to work with the energy. On a collective level, this can also be wanting to kind of break free from control, power dynamics, you know. This can also be individually, right? Perhaps that you're struggling with a relationship, a power dynamic with a family member, friendship, your boss, co-worker, so on and so forth, right? You wanted to break free from something that is maybe not healthy, that's no longer aligning. And this square for collective level, maybe perhaps these kind of problem will be revealed, right? The people are finding out more. Perhaps secrets will be revealed from certain countries or government. We are taking our power back. We are trying to resist further, right? To air the dirty laundry, and so that we can get closer to the world that we want to live in, the changes that we want to see in this world. Yes, this full moon can be intense. It might ask us to dive really deeper and to look at our shadows. But if you accept Pluto's invite and dive deeper and descend into the underworld, the deep dark corners of shadow, and embrace it, look at those uncomfortable truths, maybe perhaps the tough ones that you want to avoid, you realize that shadow is actually part of you, and it makes up the whole of you, right? That's how we have both light and dark. We have both masculine and feminine, just like a yin and yang. We're constantly working with those two energy, and when we can embrace our darkness, we can also then see our light and work with both, to know that we are both and there's nothing to be fear of. And we might, through that, have a better sense of who we are, our self-identity, right? What we truly desire in life, in different areas of our life. So go on and befriend with your shadow, right? So this is the energy of this full moon in Scorpio. And I want to share, before we go on to another major thing that is happening for us this week, I want to share the energy, the collective energy reading from the cards. And just now when I shuffle, when the cards came out, I'm just like, I got goosebumps, okay? Because I have 3 decks here. You will see. But first, let's look at the tarot. We have the Scorpio energy, King of Cups. And then we have the Taurus energy, King of Pentacles. And right in the middle, we have the Star, the Aquarius energy, where Pluto is right now. Okay, so this 3 energy showed up, this T-square energy showed up. Okay, so yes, this full moon might be quite uncomfortable for some of us, because we're being invited to look at things that we might not want to look at. Look at him. He's trying to avoid that, trying to ignore the fact that there is water around him, you know, which symbolize his emotions, right? His inner world. He's trying to look cool and peaceful and all that. while there's like a storm happening, you know, the waves are like crashing to him, and you know, he's just trying to play cool. Whether you're just trying to play cool, whether you're trying to ignore it, this full moon is asking you, it's time to get in touch with yourself, with your emotion, with your inner world, and be honest with yourself. What do you really want? Because what you want have the potential to grow. It's already in your energy field, but the two work together, right? In order to achieve these two, you have to balance it by allowing yourself to see the darkness, to go into the darkness, to work with it, because through working with it, you can heal from whatever it is that you don't want to look at, you don't want to face, and by doing that, you can then achieve the balance, right, with the water and the earth, right, with your emotions and your physical world, right, your inner and your outer world. So this is about allowing yourself to heal, and healing by looking within, by diving deep, accepting Pluto's invite to look into the darkness, to look into the shadow, to be honest with yourself. What is it that you truly want in your life? What do you desire? What is stopping you? Are you allowing yourself to feel? Are you allowing yourself to let all these emotions come up and let them flow through you, right? Because we cannot go from A to B by ignoring the path, right? Well, maybe you can, but will it be sustainable? Maybe not, right? So wow, very, very powerful message. And from the Moonology, my goodness, we have the polarity showing up again. We have last quarter moon in Scorpio reveal what needs to be seen, which is that Pluto square, right? Illuminating what is underneath it all. First quarter moon in Taurus, release control. Yes, release control, allow yourself to really see, feel, and know, so that you can get closer to what is it that you want. And look at all these cards. We have a lot of blue and we have a lot of green, right? So this is our throat chakra. The throat chakra is blue and the green is our heart chakra. Okay, so this is about really being honest with yourself, you know. Allow yourself to feel your heart. Why go down into the depth of your heart to really feel, to see, and then to express it out, the throat chakra, right? So that you can perhaps, for some of us, maybe this is about not suppressing anymore, because this is not healthy in the long run. Perhaps you are, you know, some of us are really feeling that that emotion that you're trying to suppress. Perhaps you're struggling with a relationship dynamic, whether this is a relationship, family, friendship, a work situation, or your life in general, the career path that you're on, the life path you're on, and you're not wanting to feel it because you don't know how to, or you're not allowing yourself. But the card is asking you, and the energy is asking you to allow yourself to feel, right? Be in your body, feel it, so that you can transmute it, right? And lastly, our oracle card, not for you. Okay, so I know whenever this card came up, the initial feeling is like, ugh, oh no, is a big no. But look at this, there's a fortune cookie here. The message in the fortune cookie is like, nope. Okay, but the thing is, when we initially look at the nope, we have this kind of rejection feeling. We feel like, okay, fine, we're not getting what we want. And yes, sometimes we don't get what we want. We get maybe a rejection, but understand that it's also a redirection, perhaps to something better, right? It might be a no, but it is a lesson. It is an experience. It is a learning curve, whatever it is, right? But this no this not for you is also allowing you to know what is for you. What do you want more, right? Maybe this is perhaps leading you to a path that is way better than you want. Sometimes we want our manifestation to come into our world in the exact form that our ego wants, but the universe have other plans for us. And I know it's hard. I've been there as well, but just trust that this no, this rejection perhaps is what you need exactly in order to propel you to something even better, right? So this is the whole full moon in Scorpio energy and reading. The next major thing that is happening this week is that we have Mercury station direct. Mercury is going to station direct at 15 degrees in Aries on April 25th, Hong Kong time, 8:54 p.m. or 8:54 a.m. Eastern time, adjusted time according to where you are in the world. But remember, even though we are out of Mercury retrograde, Mercury station direct, we still have post-shadow energy while Mercury slowly gaining a speed back and travel through the degree points that it was retrograde. Okay, so this post-shadow energy and pre-shadow energy before the retrograde begins sometimes can affect some of us more than the actual retrograde. So still triple check everything, space out your schedule, and know that there might be delayed and stuff like that in the traffic and email or whatever. So triple check everything, right? Be extra cautious. The energy is more potent when it's stationed, usually on the 25th. One more thing. When Mercury stationed direct at 15 degrees on the 25th, it is also going to conjunct North Node in Aries. That is a big, loud energy, okay? North Node in Aries is like, this is what I want, this is what I need, and I'm going to say it no matter what it takes, right? So conjuncting that Mercury, perhaps for some, only for some, if it's really aspecting your natal chart, you might feel like it is destined for you to express yourself about certain things or areas in your life. It is kind of like a fated moment, or something major might just happen. Maybe you receive a big news, some important information, right, regarding your Aries house, right? So see what that might mean for you. And perhaps we might also see some major headline that day as well, because that energy is really potent. So the post-shadow energy of this Mercury in Aries is going to last until actually May 13. So Aries is going to slowly gain back the speed and travel through the points, the degree points where it was retrograde. So you are entering this part 3 of Mercury retrograde story, where you might have done all the RE words, right? Reflecting, readjusting, reevaluating, everything. And now through the post-shadow energy phase, the part 3 of this journey, you are going to perhaps say the thing, to express yourself, to make that change, right? After all the evaluation, re-evaluation, and reflection, and so on and so forth. So see what might come up for you. You can look back to what's been happening, perhaps the last month. Then you might have an idea what might happen in the next 3 weeks or so. And Mercury will continue to stay in Aries until May 15 to 16, depending where you are in the world. So this is this week's energy, right? 2 major things really happening for us. Take care of your energy, take care of your feelings, emotion, because this full moon is loud and intense. So, and be gentle with yourself and others around you. Feel free to comment below. In my description box, you'll find out all the information you need to contact me to schedule a consultation with me, whether this is astrology, tarot, akashic records reading, or distant energy healing session. Feel free to shoot me an email, connect with me on Instagram. I do live sometimes over there. Maybe perhaps I'll do one on the YouTube in the near future. And I host events, and I usually post them on the IG. So follow me there so you can stay updated. and I am wishing you all a great week ahead. I'll see you in the next video.